Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. Thought I'd talk about, I stumbled upon this in Google Earth when I was doing a live yesterday, and it's really a neat story. So I thought we'd talk about it anyhow. I made $140,000 on this building you see behind me, and really I made it in like 3 weeks, and it was just a nice chunk of money to make. This is only maybe, I'm going to guess it was 12 years ago, and I've made tens of millions on property within a mile of this property. So for those of you that don't think deals are everywhere, let me tell you, they are. They're right there nearby. You just got to know how to find them. Anyhow, we're going to get into that. And also, I got to remind everybody, the mentorship that's been so successful, I've been doing for quite a while now. You tire kickers, you better get over it because it's over. At the end of this month, I'm no longer taking any new subscribers. So you can get in for the 1-year mentorship, but you're not going to be able to do that after the first. So we'll be right back.
It's the best thing I ever did.
All right, so let's see who we got here with us today. Let me see who's on the chat. Let me see. All right, Delta, Vito, Matt, hey, Tina, glad you're here. I want to follow up with you. Also, definitely want to follow up with you, Tina, on that. Tina's in the class, by the way, and you can actually see her testimonial. Actually, testimonials. She's had several. But so, look, I'm going to get in and talk about this. This is a cool property. It's actually a tiny bit bigger. What you see right here in the front, there's a company in here now. This is what it's called. But let's just get it in the sky just for a second. This property was really cool for a number of reasons. And one of which, let's start with how I found this property. I'm driving down this road, you see right here. Hey, Herbert. Also, Herbert, congrats. Herbert's making over $100,000 on a deal. He's in the closing phase right now. He just put it under contract. And and how long is that? A 30-day or 60-day, Herbert? Let me know, and I'll bring it back up later. Anyhow, so I'm driving down this road you see right here. And you can kind of see, actually it's got the old tenant in this building now. You can see how the sign has changed. Anyways, this used to be a front porch. This was just a little porch. It wasn't enclosed like you see it is now. But I'm driving down this road, and this little, basically house, they maybe added 1,000 feet. This used to have a little deck all the way around it, little deck. And I see this old man walking out of it. It was a Progressive Insurance office. And I thought, he looks pretty old, and he's leaving that place. I go, that's of interest to me. And so I called Progressive Insurance, got a hold of him, and I said, hey, you interested in selling this place? And he said, no, sir, no. And I said, well, man, I'd be very interested in buying it. He said, no, I'm not going to sell it. I don't have any interest in selling it. And he didn't want to take my number, and that was that. And I figured I'd do what I do. And you learn about that in the course, by the way. So I just went on down the road, and see, I own a lot of property around here. So let me give you an example. This is still a neighborhood that I'm not too far. And just in this neighborhood alone, I own, God, it's almost hard for me to figure it all out here. I'll give you a quick glimpse, just to give you an idea, perspective on property in the areas. I bought, and here's one of the unique things about this property that turned out to be so cool, is this little property it's like this. It's shaped like a triangle. That's the real estate. That little triangle you see right there. That's what it looks like. Now, I'll tell you why that's so cool, is because, and we'll go back down the street. Let's go back to the street here. Why this is so cool is because the property takes almost 100% of the triangle. So what I showed you from the sky was basically this property starts kind of where the arrow is. If you can see this, let me see behind my head. It starts like where this pole is. It goes back at a point behind this property, and then it comes back to this telephone pole right here. Little triangle, just like that. Now, why is that so cool? Well, here's why. The property is like in a park. Take a look. I'll get you a better view here in a sec. Be patient with me. So there's the property. It's got like 5 parking spots. There's a little. Let's see. There's the little property you see right here. Off over here. This is the little one. Now look at this. Is a 50,000 square foot office right here. It's beautiful. Look at the grounds on this thing. Let's see if we can go the other way. Yeah. So look at this. Okay, look at this. So here you got this awesome, beautiful 50,000 square foot underground parking, big insurance company and some other stuff. And I've got this little pie slice. There's no landscaping. These guys are taking care of all this beautiful landscaping. Everything's done. There's like zero, it's almost like having a condo, and the condo association would take care of everything, except this isn't a condo. This is the property. So anyhow, back to the story. So anyways, I head on down the road, and like I told you, I own a lot of property in this neighborhood. Still own, I don't know, maybe 70,000 square feet, 80,000 square feet just on this road. And down here, I have a tenant in this little place right here. And he calls me about 2 weeks later, and he says, hey, Tom, he goes, I got an opportunity to buy a little property, and I wondered if you'd let me out of my lease. And I said, yeah, sure, man, you've been a tenant for a long time, about time you buy something. And he said, well, it's about the same size, seems like a pretty good deal. And I said, yeah, do it, no problem. And then he goes, oh, you know what, never mind. He goes, I'm not going to buy it. I go, wait a minute, what are you talking about? And he said, I know I'm probably not going to do anything with it. I said, listen, you got an opportunity to buy this. And I said, well, where is this property? And guess what? It was the very property that I had just called on 2 weeks before that the guy said he had no interest in selling whatsoever. This guy was a golf buddy. He goes, well, it's my golfing buddy. He's an insurance guy like me. And he told me he'd sell me the place. And I said, really, how much? And he says, like $110,000. I said, I'm turning my truck around and I'm heading to your office right now. And I drove straight to his office. And I said, John, you have got to buy that property. I said, I'll buy it with you if you want. I said, but you've got to buy it right now. We got to get it. And he said, well, and he was, and I said, listen, I said, I'm turning around. And I pulled up, went inside. I said, grab a sheet of paper. And I wrote down, I said, okay, listen. I said, you got to buy this thing. I said, let's go in on, I'll go down there. I'll go down with you. I'll write the contract. And he called him up. I said, call him right now. See if he can see us right now. He said, all right. He calls him. I go, let's go. We went down there immediately, sat down with him. And I didn't tell him that I drove by 2 weeks before I asked about buying it. And my tenant, I won't say his name, but he said, yeah, we're going to buy it here with Tom. We'll go ahead and take it. And I said, okay, and I wrote the deal up, 110 cash, 30 days. And then when we get done with it, he's like, man, I don't really know if I want to buy it. I said, look, I'll buy it by myself. I said, I'll give you 10 grand. I said, I'll give you 10 grand and I'll just buy it by myself. How's that sound? He goes, okay, well, let me think about it. And so the next day he said, well, were you serious about buying this from me? I said, dude, I'll give you a check right now and I'll close it without you. He said, okay. And so I wrote him a check for $10,000 and now that little property was mine. I sold it for $280,000 about 3 weeks later. And it's funny, I put a for rent sign on it. And I had these two guys, they were partners in a sign company, and they just wouldn't leave me alone. One guy was so persistent, and he'd say, Tom, you must sell me this property. You must sell me this property. I've been buying signs from him for years. I go, I don't want to sell it. I go, look, I'll rent it to you for $2,500 a month. I said, you can't beat it. You're on a busy street. There's great signage. You can, you'll be making, you don't even have to spend any money on advertising anymore. Everybody will know where you're at. And he'd been in a shopping center. But he was so persistent, which I can tell you, there's a lot to be said for persistence. It's one of the reasons I've been so successful is because I am persistent and I never give up. And I tell that to all my students, and I'll tell you, anybody just watching, never give up. Never give up on your dreams. Never give up on what you're going after. Remember, the deal is not, when somebody says they're not interested, it doesn't mean they're not interested. As I just demonstrated in this guy said, I don't want it, but guess what? He really did want to sell it. He just didn't want to sell it to me. He wanted to sell it to a friend. And so I said I made 140 on the thumbnail, but I probably made 170. Is more closely to it, or 150 anyway, something like that. And that was like that. And so now back to, I'm trying to lease it. I thought, this is beautiful. My thoughts were, someday I'll retire and I'll just make that my office, the office, my little kingdom, In fact, people joke this road's somethingville, and they call it McKayville because my name, McKayville, because I own so much on the street. Anyways, the guy that actually wrote that was not somebody I was friendly with, but I saw an email where he wrote that, where he was angry. Anyways, back to the deal. This guy and the persistence. So Sean, they're two partners, Sean and Sean, and just begging me, relentless. And I couldn't understand why I hadn't already leased it so quick, $2,500 a month. But I said, what the hell? And you guys will learn that from me in the class, by the way. I say it all the time. You can't get hurt taking a profit. And so I said, what the hell? I'll sell it to you. So I sold it to him, and I put, 150, 160 grand in my pocket. And that's it on that story. And those guys, they stayed in that property for, I don't know, at least 10 years or so. And then some unfortunate stuff happened. But anyhow, the property just recently sold for about 500. So, and that was after they put added 1,000 square feet to it. But these are the kinds of deals that are right under your nose in your area, and that's what I teach you how to do. If you don't have my book, get my book. Wake up and smell the real estate. This costs $10. If you got $10, if you don't have $10 to spend on a book written by a guy that's made tens of millions of dollars and been doing this for 40 years, then you don't have what it takes. I'm just sorry to tell you. If you can't spend $10 on something like that, then you really probably won't do well, because you got to pay for information. People, and I just put my kids through college. I spent, $150,000 a piece, and that's so they could make, less than $150 a year. I got people in my class that have made $1 million in a year. Okay, it's the best money you'll ever spend. Anyways, putting that aside, let's catch up here. I got some students in here. Tina, I hope you're still in here. Robert's in here. Robert's killing it in Portugal. In fact, I got to get his testimonial video out. That'd be fantastic. Tina did a video recently, and actually I'm really interested in what she's doing. Liam, you can see he's in the chat here. He's saying he's looking for a deal right now. He did get a house you got another one under contract, right? Did you get that house under contract, Liam? Okay. And actually, almost a rock's throw from Liam is another student, Herbert. They're over in New Jersey. And Herbert, he picked up a deal under $300,000, put about 40 grand in it. And he just put it in under contract for 430 over. He got more than he was asking for it. And he's going to make over 100 grand, maybe 130, it looks like. Maybe less. He's the agent, so he's going to do it. Let's see, Jelani, as always, Tom, great show. I'm a lender and looking to make a move into my first few properties, and you're my go-to in regards to purchasing real estate. Yeah, hey, Jelani, don't waste any time. Seriously, this is the last chance to get in. This isn't some BS. This is the last chance you're going to be able to get the one-year mentorship. I'm not going to commit myself for a year anymore, but this at the end of this month, this will be the last time that I take a commitment for a year, because believe me, I promise you 2 live meetings every month, but I do about 4 live meetings every month, and they go for hours. We have hundreds of hours of extra content in there. It's really awesome, and we got quite a great community. Really proud of everybody in the class, including those that are watching right now. It's really a wonderful thing. Let's see. Dennis, here we go. Tom, are you having good luck bird dogging? Oh yeah. Dennis, I bought 3 homes in the last 6 months. I'm not going to show you exactly where they are, but I could show you because some of them are really close, right, to this area. Okay. Anyways, NPen says, hey, Tom, I'm your newest mentee. I look forward to learning under you. Oh, man, I would know your name if I saw it. I don't think I saw you. Must have signed up like in the last half hour or something. NPen, I'll be looking for you. But welcome to the club. Glad you're in there. Tina just wrote, buying 3 2-acre property lots in a hot area. under contract for 159K, making improvements and selling for approximately, 350-ish. What are those improvements going to cost you, Tina? What do you figure you're going to have to put out to make, looks like 80, 90 grand, depending on how much you put in there? But see, this is the kind of deals you can get. Okay, Liam, Jelani, I'm looking for funding for a deal. I have a contract right now. And he says he's a lender. Okay. So do this, Jelani, if you want, you can write me at tom@FlipAnythingUSA.com, and I will give your info straight to Liam, and he'll, and I'll whatever, whoever it is that's got the money that's looking for something, I'll connect you with Liam. And that's the beautiful thing is we got such a great community. And by the way, guys, I hadn't even told you, I'm going to go ahead and create an advanced class now. This is coming. It's due because, to be honest, I'm in jiu-jitsu, and it takes years and years to get belts, and I realize anyways, we have some folks that have got a couple of stripes on their belts, let me put it that way, and it's time to go to the next level with a lot of the guys here that have already made a deal. I think I'm going to make that criteria. You have to have made a deal, and then you jump to the next level. And but we got some people that are just really, really awesome. Jelani, understood, Tom. Jelani, do that. And anyways, so that's it. I think I'll keep it short and sweet today on this. But listen, don't miss out on real estate, folks. There is not an easier way. It's like the most level playing field you can imagine. People like to tell you that the rich have all the advantages. It's not true, because in real estate, the deal is your advantage. Finding money is easy. Even if you don't have money, it doesn't matter. You can find money. Money is easy to find. I've bought the first 5-6 properties I bought. I put them under contract and got them, and made a commitment to buy them, even though I didn't have the money. Finding the money was easier. I just found somebody who said, hey, you want to split a nice profit with me? Sure. They put up the money. We split the profit. Pretty soon I did that enough times that I had my own cash. Pretty soon I was the money guy. In fact, I'm investing with some of my students now. So it's kind of cool. So that's it. Tina wrote here, putting a septic in, already has 30 pecan trees. Wow, that sounds like a beautiful property. Planted with underground irrigation system, already has a well. We'll be putting in the other 2. Wow. How many acres is that again? It sounds beautiful. Have connections in the industry, putting in about 40K. Okay. Very cool. Okay, that's right. I remember. I remember the connections now. But by the way, we're very cryptic here and protective of each other's deals, and that's how it should be. Good deal. Yeah, Jelani, write me in. Like I say, I'll connect you. 6 total. That's great, Tina. That sounds beautiful. A buddy of mine, he bought 2.5 acres in Santa Barbara. This is about 35 years ago, and it was funny. Part of the deal was that the people could come back and they could cut all the avocados. They could get one harvest, because these really beautiful avocado, enormous trees. Quite a robust, whatever you call it, crop. And what was funny is just the avocados that dropped on the ground. His dogs, little dogs, they doubled their weight just eating the avocados that were on the ground. There's a lot of saturated fat in there, I think. Anyways, but hey, that's it. Hey, thanks for checking in, everybody. Listen, I'm going to plan on doing, because like I did, this is a countdown. I'm not doing the Win Your Mentorship anymore at the end of this month. So maybe Tina, Liam, and Herbert, and you guys, I'll try to do this about the same time every night for the next maybe 10, 14 nights, I don't know. And I just want to give everybody the benefit of being able to get in this class, and hearing testimonies from people who have actually made money, I think, is really the best thing. A lot of people in the class don't want me to don't want me to take in anybody else, because they understand the value, and it's fantastic value, but it'll be a last chance for you folks that are really interested, and but maybe you guys you can demonstrate, and we'll make a few more millionaires out there. So anyhow, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.